We are live. I assume we're live. Are we all live? Count off. Yes.
Hello,
All right. Everybody.
Hello.
I'm
Everybody.
here.
Alex isn't alive though. He hasn't alived himself.
I'm here.
Oh, fantastic! Absolutely. I have bullied you guys into saying hello. I feel powerful. All right. So it is 1/18/2022. It is another Tuesday night. Whoops! So excited. And we are going to start with episode 49 of Odyssey of the Dragonlords. And here we go. So, quick recap from last game. Previously, our party, the Heroes of the Golden Showers, were met and spoken to by a Dragonlord Centurion from Mytros named Tarchon, along with 3 other riders, Stentor, Thelma, and Dolops, atop beautiful copper dragons. He explained that he and the others were there to bring back the heroes of Thylea to speak with King of Mytros, King Acastus. At first, the party declined and asked what the urgency was, that the king would send dragonriders to get them, and Tarchon explained that it was to solve a dilemma. The storm that had been plaguing the city of Mytros has gone on long enough, and the king requests the heroes' council. Changing their minds, as now it is more of a probably need to save a city versus a possibly personal issues. They quickly changed their minds and agreed that they would follow and accompany them only if they were able to first drop off their armaments that they had received from the necropolis and give it to Volkan, and the Dragonlords said yes, they would be able to do that. They dropped them off. Volkan said it'll take about 3 weeks to complete and to come back later. The Dragonlords then quickly zoomed off, and it took a few hours, but they did arrive on the outskirts of Mytros. They had to walk through the vineyards, and as the gale force wind started to pick up from the storm above, there was rain and some hail. It's a mess. It's just a mess. They went into the city and found that it was completely deserted. All the buildings were shuttered up, and there was absolutely no one to be seen aside from themselves. They crossed the Harp Bridge, which is a beautiful bridge where it is rumored and said and just given the energy of that the sirens roost there, and when the sirens sing, if it is a happy song, then the Gora, it is a wealthy time. If they sing a song of sadness, then it is not as wealthy. So it's a bit of a luck gamble there. The visage of Sydon appeared in the sky in a rage and threw down 2 lightning bolts, one at Andromache and the other one at Asimi. Calder, though, redirected the attack on Andromache and was able to dissipate the lightning bolt, but Asimi did receive the full blast. But he was okay in the end, just a little frazzled and hair a mess. Nothing that a little not dermatology, what's it called?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation, thank you, would not cure.
The Prometheus cantrip.
The Prometheus cantrip, yes. Inside of inside of the palace, it was unexpectedly calm, very, very calm. There was no wind, but above, when they looked up, they could hear the storm raging against the building and on the roof. Finally, they enter into the palace and into the throne room, and the king welcomes them. On the steps below him is a beautiful woman who they immediately could absolutely tell is Queen Valis. Next to her was a interesting tiefling in robes, and he introduced himself as his name was Chandras. Across from him was a very familiar figure, and Gaius, who is the head of Sydon's order. And next to the steps, right in front of King Acastus, was a relatively younger looking woman, very pretty, and her name was Bella, who happened to be his concubine. He welcomed the heroes and gave them the speech of the city is under siege by the storm of Sydon, and his vestiges that are giving him a council. Sorry, the councils that are trying to give him options. They have not reached an accord, so he requested the heroes to come decide for him. The option there was 4 options. First one is from Valis. The 4 gods would perform a ritual that would result in a miracle and would force the storm away. However, it would leave the gods with basically an exhaustion for 50 years. The second option was from the innocent Bella, who's just kind of said, oh, well, why don't we just sacrifice like we usually do, ox. However, Castus said that in order to do that, it would take 10,000 gold, and it would also reduce the amount of livestock that was in the city, taking food source away from the people, which may in the long term not be good, or even the short term. The next was from Gaius, who said that to smash the 5 gods temple, appease Sydon, and have people start worshiping Sydon and Lutheria instead of the treacherous false gods, which he refers to the 5 gods. And then last one was from Chandras, who just said kind of a little bit nonchalantly, but with sincerity, is that, at this point, it would, if you want to appease one twin, get another twin to help. And so he suggested to send 70 children to take on the Black Robes. However, Valis interrupted him before he could finish his sentence and vetoed that option on the spot, as it is rumored, though it hasn't been 100% said, that it was sacrificing children to Lutheria to appease her into calming Sidon's wrath. But not in the game for sacrificing children. The heroes questioned the gods, questioned Valis the god, and questioned King Acastus and his council, and in the end decided to take on Valis' suggestion in the gods performing a miracle. Valis took the heroes aside and said that in order to perform the miracle, they would have to convince the rest of her family, as wisdom does. Other people don't listen to it, and this is the case. So she immediately summoned Volkan, her, in quote, father, her brother Pithor, and already there Kira, who just seemed to maybe just was always there, not sure. And with a beautiful roll of the dice, Gaia rolled a natural 20, absolutely riveting speech, that Kira was already on board, Valis was already on board, but Volkan and Pithor were definitely moved and a little ashamed that their hard-headedness and, let's say, arrogance, a little bit conceitedness in certain areas, they relented and said that they would do it. Valis then instructed her family to head to their temples so that they can perform the miracle. Valis said, asked the heroes, they are welcome to stay within the palace. It's suggested they stay in the palace just so that Sydon does not decide that he's going to shoot another lightning bolt at them, or any other harmful things could happen to them as they wander the city in a horrible gale storm. She did instruct that it would take all day. It would take about 8 hours. And each hour they would see the severity of the storm go down. Okay, so her attendant.
I was thinking, Onslow, shut up.
Okay, confused.
He knows what he did.
I'm missing everything. Valis left the heroes in the antechamber of her chambers, with her stewardess Michaela, who would be able to assist them in anything that they need if they so needed anything. She did also drop a hint that there was possibly another person that the heroes had known that was somewhere on the grounds. And I will go ahead and leave it with you guys. I will preload this scene. And activate. All right. Have at it.
All right, and Valis just left, right?
Yes, the gods just left. They were
Okay.
in a hurry to get this situated.
Okay. I think Gaia would like kind of turn to the group, like her like hands are kind of shaking. Like, did I did I just do that? Did I just yell at the five? Did I just mother them?
Very proud of you.
Yes, he did.
Oh, woo! Hey, sit down. Like sit in the chair, like kind of like almost like fangirling. Like, okay, all right. Well, we'll be fine. We'll be okay. All right.
Uh, sorry, is spaced out there for a minute. Ever since those dragons showed up, it's like I haven't really been here entirely. Was there a timetable on this? The actions of the gods?
Yeah, they said it would take about the better part of a day to get it set up. Valis asked that we stay within the castle, so we do not get approached or addressed by those who are against what we approve of.
I'm not entirely sure that is wise. And let me explain. I wholeheartedly agree that this is the best solution to this problem, but I want to ensure. The people of Mytros should know who it is who is saving them, and who it is who has damned them. I worry that, given the, shall we say, lackadaisical efforts by the five to this point, I worry that the cults of Sydon and Lutheria will spin whatever happens to support their god, the twins.
Well,
I think we should emphatically reject that notion.
when the storm breaks, it's very easy for you to spread the word, Asimi, or
I think
Gaia, or
I think
Mythos, or...
people appreciate prophets more than they do preachers. It'd be just as easy for them to claim that these twins to say, I don't know, that the five are bowing to the might of Sydon or something like that.
I mean, honestly, my viewpoint of the way that Mytros is at the moment, um, I honestly fully agree with you right now that the five are bowing to Sydon to not do anything, and it's rather sad. That's why I got heated in the conversation just before.
Right,
Just nothing.
I don't think that, no. I think at this point, they're acting rather than being acted on. And they've allowed that for too long.
Mm.
But if this option ends up strengthening our enemies, then no action is better. But don't know. We're not heroes of the palace. We're heroes of Thylea, and Thylea is outside these palace walls.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. Thylea is everybody, not just Mytros. But at the
I
same
just mean the
time,
castle.
well, okay. Regardless of the city or the castle, if you're a mortal and you live within this realm, you're a Thylean, right? Within context. So the five not assisting the city, and even more so specifically the slums getting hit the worst, being flooded and drowned and washed out of their homes.
No,
I mean, at the end of the day, the five have not acted on that specifically. I mean,
right.
most people in this country would probably know that getting into Mythos is hard. And it's
Uh,
not an easy thing to do, and you have to make your ranks, and that's where you start. And if you're just getting ignored down there, that's really the Thailand's
apologies.
enemy.
Where do you misconstrue me? Yes, fuck the five. I've said it all along, especially that Gale bitch. Um, But I just, if this miracle is construed as the five bowing to Sydons rather than acting for the city, that's what I want to make sure. I think we should go out there. We should tell people what is happening. We should be a face rather than. I mean, I don't trust the five to handle this entirely capably. That's what I'm saying.
Just to put it out there, Asimi, it's the middle of a hurricane right now. There aren't really very many public gatherings happening at the moment.
Well, then let's make one. That's what I think people need to stop fearing Sydon so much. That is his greatest weapon.
I think in most contexts I would disagree with you. But in this instance, I think the phrase "fuck the five" is a little applicable.
Right, but fuck the five, but fuck the twins more.
I agree. Absolutely. I wouldn't fuck the twins with a 10-foot pole.
Would that be possible? You're very weak. I don't know that you could carry something like that.
With enough effort, I think anything's possible.
I don't know that that's true.
I think that the stance that the five will make by end of day today should say more, whether it's good or bad, about themselves that should sway the majority of the audience of the cities. Hopefully in the positive. Just in case you made the comment of maybe not feeling that you were here for the last few hours after the dragon showed up. My comments towards the five are that how dare you not take action when you have the ability to. I think most of our arguments, Asimi, you and I, have been more so on the side of you thinking the five aren't doing enough and they are against the will of the mortals and not putting in the effort. And me making the claim that they can't and that we should give them the benefit of the doubt. As of now, hearing Queen Valis speak, they could take action. They could have days ago, and they haven't. And I can't honestly say how far back that would have gone.
Well,
at what point would they have stopped taking action? Valis makes the claim that I've been trying to get everyone in the same book for so long, and I don't doubt her, but at the same time, if one of the four of them couldn't get the group into one cause after being able to take action for so long, 4 centuries of not being able to do anything, when they first get their first opportunity to actually act, and none of them want to do anything, I don't know when that started, and that really makes me concerned for man and woman as a whole.
I think, going back to the conversation in the necropolis, I think that it happened, or I'm afraid that it happened when Mytros sacrificed herself. But also, on the second point, I don't recall us ever arguing, Gaia.
We had fun conversations.
Right, exactly. Fun, enlightening conversations of an academic sort.
Absolutely. Theoretical debates, if you will.
That proved you were dumb.
As an out-of-character thing...
hold on now!
Just curious, are we talking mad shit about the five in front of the queen's, right hand right now?
If we are, I'll just flick them off casually.
I mean,
I would not do that. She's an Amazonian. She kicked my ass.
We've got an Amazon, not bodyguard, but
babysitter. 100%.
Right.
We do,
right?
for sure.
Yeah, she.
Imagine it's one of those things where Simi's like, we kind of have that like catch each other's eye, look at her. Simi's like starts flicking her off, and somebody's like, no.
Mikaela just stands there. She is listening, but she. I mean, are you like looking at her reaction, or you're just like?
No. I was just wondering if she was actually in the room.
Yes, she is in the room. Yeah, there's no token. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah. So, this is very strange to say out loud, and Asimi, please take it to heart. I probably will never say this again. I think you're right. In some instances, I think you're right. And I guess I just needed the physical proof to show that I was wrong.
Simi's gonna press the digitation like a trumpet going off.
It
And Guy
echoes a
will
little
take
bit.
a bow to the trumpet, lean into it.
Uh,
Now, that is a very finite thing to say. I do disagree with
no,
you on
take
a
back,
lot of
please.
things. I'm not taking it back. I do agree with you. You're right. Yeah, and you've
I
been preaching this since the start, and I refuse to believe. And now I've been given proof to show that you have been right. And I want to apologize for any grief I may have given you up until this point.
But on that point, I don't want our arrival at Mytros to be defined by us entering the palace, the guest of the five, more or less, staying here until a miracle happened, and then only then be brave enough to go stand out once the danger is past.
I see what you're saying.
Mythos
Okay.
kind of gives a bit of a humph. And he says, I think you both judge the five too harshly. Consider this. There was an oath made. And even if that oath is not a physical restraint, I'm glad that I put my faith in the side that honors it.
I don't disagree with you, Mythos.
Right.
I think there is strength that lies within the act of complacency. I'm not denying that. But imagine that we were dealing with who's a common enemy of your foe? Someone you've disliked your entire life, but through the magical
Goblins?
means of an oath, you were unable to act. Let's say someone was trying to steal your rightful heir to the throne, and for 30 of your 31 years of life, you were unable to do anything about it. And on your 31 year of life, you had the action to act. And your assistants or council told you this is not the time, and you waited and lost your crown because of it. I'm not
Again,
saying the decisions you
You
made were
unfairly
wrong.
simplify a complicated situation.
I think
I am.
if I might say to a better my observations on this has largely been that leading up to the end of the oath, the twins have been preparing for the end and to act when the oath ended, whereas the five have largely ignored the date.
Have they?
That's what it
Hmm.
seems to me. I mean,
Have they? Or are there not five champions in this room? Brought together by those very gods.
I had thought we were brought together by Versi.
I think Versi was a vehicle of the transportation of the five.
That's a bold statement.
At
I
every
agree with you, Mythos. And to go back to what I just said, I think we are a loophole the five had found. But I don't think that given the opportunity for them to be their own loophole, they did not take it. And that's where my issues reside.
I
Because
don't
they are far more reliable than we are as mortals. Well, I guess not you, you're not you, Mythos, having a fraction of divine spark within yourself, if not half of one. But
I don't think we need to, Mythos. I don't think any of us are trying to unfairly insult the five. We know the side that we're on. We're just trying to be honest with our assessments, perhaps. And
yes,
I think it's a fair thing to say that the five have not handled themselves immaculately, and that's our frustration. We'll need perfection and perhaps more to defeat the twins again. That is what I think. And we need deities that are willing to act rather than need to be pressed into acting. But regardless, they have agreed, and hopefully this turns a new stone.
I will not be false in this statement. I do kind of like the idea of making our presence known in this instance so that the city knows that we are on their side. But
well
that's just my opinion.
continue to
I
consider as well that you continue to say they have the opportunity to act. They have always had the ability to act. The oath of peace is still not up.
Mm-hmm. You're right. They've always had the ability to act, but this is the first time they had the ability to act without consequence. And the consequence of acting before their
Out of
time.
character, I'm not following how they're acting without consequence.
Because
So-
they're able to do this in retaliation to the storms being thrown at
Yeah.
Mytros. Without
the
that,
storms are
they have
damaging the land and the people outside of direct retaliation to the five themselves. So that's why Valis made the comment that this is the ability of us having the option to act against them without breaking the oath. This is the first time in the 500 years they've had the ability to act without the oath counteracting them directly.
because
Because
it's in defense of the people,
Yeah.
which is what the Oath of Peace is designed to protect.
Yeah.
So they can always act out of the oath and break the rules, but this is saying these are within your rights to do so,
Mhm.
and we're saying you have the right, do it.
Yeah. It's like the act of self defense in the state of you throwing the first punch versus the first punch being thrown at you and you just defending yourself after that. That's what the situation is. They didn't throw the first punch, but they have the right to defend themselves from that first punch.
And our speech was basically, so fight fucking back. Don't just
Yeah.
let them hit you.
Yeah. Don't be bullied into submission. Defend yourself.
None of that makes any sense to me. No, like it makes sense, but it like how in the context like that comes to be is a little muddled.
Hmm.
Yeah, we can.
In terms of what?
Guy is viewing it in the terms of a parent defending their child. So, like, in her mind, Valis being the mother of the city, and her city is being abused and distraught via an outside entity, and she has the ability to defend it, but because of people making the choice not to act, she cannot defend it. So in a motherly sense, she's like, you have the means to have those who can help you help, but they're refusing your service. And I know you have the action to act and to get them into it, but they're not doing it.
Okay.
She's
mean-
But I
holding
mean,
her
being
and
all
the other-
angry about that, like,
Mhm.
completely ignores all of the other factors in the city that were at play. Like, she's not an authoritarian ruler of the city that can do whatever she wants.
That's true.
Right, but she's trying to sway the governing body
Well,
by making
to
this
be
pitch.
So,
to be
So,
clear, too,
like, the
Asimi
argument
is
could be
probably
made that-
being unfair. Asimi doesn't
Her-
like the five, by and large. So Asimi is
her
not
way of
gonna-
acting was getting the heroes brought here to break the deadlock in her favor, so that she could get the other five here, while also conveniently having the heroes here to pressure the others into.
Yeah, but
fine.
it's not just Valis that like it's more. I mean, Asimi has said in the past that of all the five,
Yeah.
he respects Valis the most. It's the others too. It's just as a group, judging them as a group.
Mhm.
The fact that it needed to come to that is what's kind of irritated Asimi.
Yeah, Guy is in the same boat. Knowing that Valis had, like, when we arrived last week, and she said that this allows us to work beyond the realms of the Oath of Peace, but the other three of the four of them are not acting. Baffled Gaia.
No, I got the impression it was more that King of Castus wouldn't allow her. That his whole council was deadlocked on what action to take. And it wasn't until we got here that we were given the opportunity to break that deadlock in her favor.
Mm-hmm.
So my understanding was that King of Castus was looking for counsel. His council couldn't agree to a point that he was satisfied with their pitches, so they said, okay, well, who are the other powerful people in the world? I mean, that's giving us a lot of credit and saying, okay, what do the heroes of Thylea think they will be the person to tip the scales in one way or the other? So he is in a uncertain an insecure and uncertain king who doesn't trust his council enough, and so is seeking for a literal third opinion.
Can't make his own decision.
Yeah, or can't make his own decision for whatever reason. The flaw lies in the ruler not being able to make a decision for himself and needing more people to help make his decisions. And of course, the five being problematic as they are. And I think Andromache agrees with a lot of the sense of like, it's been problematic past, but this is a chance to turn over a new leaf. Let's hope things improve from here, and let's not dwell on what what wrongs have been enacted upon, and they dwell on the possibilities of the future.
Indeed. Indeed. Think this is it. This is our first true move against the twins. From this day forward, it starts. We're not just the heroes. We're the leaders of a war movement.
Right.
I don't think after right now, Mythos, I don't think I've ever been more in agreement with you than this exact moment.
Just call her agree. Yeah. It doesn't work.
Up to this
Shut up,
point,
out there. Nobody asked you.
up to this point, I was more along kind of for the ride. But I'm kind of realizing that while physically and capably the five are able to do things well beyond my means, it seems that mentally that they are within themselves no more than I am. And I can relate to that. I think Kira's a great example of that. She's more of a child than me.
Yeah.
And I'm only, 40 years young. And
Indeed.
it's kind of mildly shocking. Not in a bad way. If anything, it's relatable and I can respect her more, but the mentality of the world needs those to lean on, and they need leaders. And I think the five understand that they can't do this alone. And they need those to give their vision in a better way that they can while also respecting them in themselves. So I think what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is everyone here in this room, Asimi, Andromache, Mythos, Calder. I don't think there's anyone else in this room that I would love to spend the rest of my life defending humanity with than the four of you. So, Shinny, I see you as the face of the group. I wouldn't really. I don't know if
Ah, yes,
leader
the
is
character
right word.
canonically named Chitty.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mythos. I see you as the face of our group, and you have a very important role. Whatever you decide, I'm with you. Just know that you have my respect, as long as the other three of you in this room, Andromache, Calder, and Asimi. I'd lay my life down for you, and I'd hope you do the same. Whatever happens after today, I feel like we'll set our fates intertwined and untangleable. So please make your decisions today carefully, as they're very important.
Indeed. I am honored by the sentiment, Gaia.
Do you
I'd
know
like
what
to
I
add
want?
And my chakra. Oh, are we doing a thing?
That is the thing.
And my axe and my
My speaking axe.
in the with lack of better options, I suppose Thylea is lucky we showed up.
I don't know if there's better options, but I agree.
I think there were probably better options. I mean, we were what, like the 40th, heroes of Thylea, and the rest just kept
We're
getting
like the
killed by-
third. Not that far from the top.
Yeah, the odds are that like the 42nd group had some real badasses, and we just sort of took their spot. So
That just
I think
gets
I
me
remember
confident
Odyssey
that we
saying
fucked up
something
and we
about
got-
that. I looked at her planner, and it was like date with the heroes of Thylea, but then we didn't, then we showed up, and she had to I don't know. Anyways, do we want to stay safe here in the palace, like they told us to, or do we want to go out there and be among the people, be among the city that we're protecting?
I agree with the sentiment of. I would agree with the sentiment of, wanting to make ourselves known, but while we are still a target of Sydon's wrath, lighting bolts as to be shown, perhaps putting us nearer to the citizens of Mytros might be unwise. I think best that we to wait it out a little longer.
DM, do we have a map, or do we know the layout of the city?
I can get you one. The map is enormous, so I can give you I can give you a description. So
let me ask you a follow-up of two questions specifically to kind of
Okay.
spearhead this.
Sure.
Did we walk past the Temple of the Five to get to the palace?
No, the Temple of the Five is it's like you don't know exactly where it is,
Okay.
except for Mythos. I guess Gaia would Gaia have gone there?
She may have seen the passing, but she would not have visited it.
All right, so then it's basically on the eastern side. It's its own
Okay.
little thing just down. So you would you would have to travel to get there, but it's not that far. It's like 10-minute
Okay.
walk.
I think Asimi studied in the university here as well.
Yeah, Asimi
Oh
is,
yes,
Asimi
that's
definitely-
right.
that's on the west
City.
side of the city, is it not?
Oh yeah, but he lived here for like 6 years or something
Okay.
like that. So he
So,
knows the temple
With
is-
that in mind, knowing that Gaia would not have visited the Temple of the Five, nor have we seen on the way up, she'll ask audibly, has anyone been to the city before? Any of us
Nope.
in this group?
Nope.
Any visitors
Nope.
or residents?
Never.
Okay, that's not true. You've been in the university, right? You talk about your books all the time.
But I've never once mentioned that.
So you want to go camping in the woods?
I am not actually a Asimi.
Kill him.
Wow.
So I'm thinking of ways to avoid the negatives of the pros and cons of making a public statement.
I mean,
And my thought
just-
process is if the Temple of the Five is open in terms of like not walled off, could we maybe make a statement there and voice it across the city?
I think so, perhaps. Yes. Or even just
Totally.
being present, you know? I just don't want... it's been kind of Asimi will look past Mythos and Gaia to Calder and Andromache. It was important to the two of you that we not simply be agents of the Five, yes? We're looking for a better Thylea, not a Thylea that is perhaps as... I don't know the right word off the top of my head. The Dragonlords had their biases, and certainly the inhabitants of Old Thylea had their biases. We want a world that balances that, right? And the Five are...
Thylea and its races have a history of short-sightedness and believing that they are superior and all others should be wiped out on both sides.
Right, I think...
Want to avoid that.
I don't think we want to simply be too tightly associated with the Five. Associate us with, they are the... this is Mythros after all. This is their city. They are defending it, but that we're not necessarily entirely their vassals?
I think
Partially,
that,
yes, but not entirely. That's what the message I want to ensure.
I think in the same mindset that over the last half a millennia, almost at this point, other than the Eladrin and the Elves, no one lives that long. And other than scriptures written, I would assume that the last 499 years, the Five seem to have not taken action. And in Asimi's point, being able to take the first steps towards fighting against this tyranny would honestly be a good thing. So maybe we can rally those who don't listen to history or who believe in the history that was on the losing side.
Indeed.
Who am I? I'm agreeing with Asimi so much.
It's weird,
goes off
indeed.
again.
But let me cut in quick to pivot. Something that's been bothering me is Gaius and his dragon. As you said, Gaia, that the Five are not ideally suited to actually ruling the Thylea that they fought so hard for. In most cases, they seem to have left that to their Dragonlords. Dragonlords, an order that's all but vanished, and this new order seems different. It's not akin to the stories and legends I was told growing up.
Hardly seems noble.
Indeed. And it worries me.
It is very concerning. I mean, I might have been infatuated in the moment with the puppy dog of a dragon, but they seem so childish. They seemed very immature for an an animal, let alone a sentient being.
Think.
I'm curious how they even got that status, let alone the dragons that they have, and what changed recently. It's so close to the end of the treaty. It's just a lot of unknown variables that make me scared, I guess.
I wonder if the power hasn't a bit gone to their mind, so to speak. I mean, who are they really learning from?
Indeed. In the legends, it seems so clear-cut. The Dragonlords fought against the forces of the Titans, and now the leaders, the forces of the Titans, are also riding dragons. Where do we stand? Where's our ace? If this is the case.
Quick question. I think I remember asking this before. In the oldest stories, did the forces of the Titans have dragons as well?
No. No, no,
Okay.
no. They were completely against dragons. They slaughtered them.
Yeah. Okay.
Perhaps while we're here, and the storm is raging, keeping us locked down, we could investigate that.
I don't think that's I do not believe that is an illegitimate cause.
I'd like to know how many riders has a castus created, and how many of them are followers of the Titans.
Well, it's at least 4 that are created. I think if we can recall from 4 hours ago.
And Gaius, whether he's a member of the King's dragonriders or his own entity.
It wouldn't be
It's
hard
just-
to.
I would assume he would be because of his position.
Yeah, and if
Close to a
just
castus.
anybody. Very good point. And if just anybody can get dragons, though, where's ours?
And I do have the question of, where did they even get them from? I thought the story was that the dragons were all killed off during the war.
Stories are never entirely true. And it's easy enough to write a story that they'd all been killed off while keeping them in secret. Stories are very easy to lie in.
That's true. History is written by the victors.
It's also written by liars. I went to university for this.
He has a point.
So, okay.
I think I do. It does worry me that the king has such close poison, perhaps, in his ear. I think that might be a better.
There's a lot of pollution
Tess.
coming from both sides of his ears, for sure. I don't think that Chandras, or however you say his name, has the best intentions at heart. At the same time, I don't think his concubine has the best knowledge of the environment to make the best decisions.
Sorry,
I think
who's
He
Chandras
seems
again?
isolated from
the
Valis.
tiefling. I don't quite recall his name. The blue man with horns.
No, I this is this is me.
The
asking.
cult of Lutheria guy. There's like,
Okay.
yeah, send some children our way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, no, certainly not. I think one of these days we're really gonna have to have a chat about what that cult really stands for.
I think that's a conversation that I would really like to have, honestly. But in the immediate, I think it's important we decide what we do now. We take action.
When we're talking about action, we marching over, we could kill them in their bedrooms.
I think action and murder are 2 different topics to discuss. But I like where your head's at. I do like the idea of marching, though. As Asimi's made the comment, and Mythos you just did. I think we should make our presence known within the city. Sydon be damned if we get struck. I can take a hit. I can take a lightning bolt to the chest. And I can damn well make sure that any of you will get up from it. I think we make a presence.
Knock on wood. Just get insta-kibbed.
I'm always down to parade, but hopefully there's people out to see it.
I don't know that it matters. As long as they hear, and we could make sure they hear us. I don't know. I just, again, I apologize. Perhaps it was my cynical side wanting to make an action. I know how clever the cultists can be, the followers of Lutheria can be. It would be the sort of thing I was trained for, to spin such a miracle the five would cause into a victory for the Lady of Dreams. And I don't know that the five have such pragmatism to combat that. I don't know that they would be prepared to. I think they're going to act and let the action speak for itself, but actions don't speak for themselves in politics.
Well, if there's one thing we can count on, I'm sure Kira will tell the story.
Right, and she'll probably do it terribly.
Well, just because we're not going to go march and kill them in their rooms doesn't mean they're not willing to do the same. We should be dangerous. I have the feeling we are in... Let me rephrase this. I have a feeling that this might be the most dangerous place we've been to yet.
I was thinking the same thing, Mythos.
Mm-hmm. Physically or politically, I agree.
All right, so as a player, how would we go about looking to see what's up with all the Dragonlords and stuff?
Well, you... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, isn't there a massive library here?
Asimi could try to, get chummy with people a little bit. Maybe ask servants or the guards, things like that, the people who might see things, and just kind of get their feel on it. Get their feel on how Chandris and Gaius are. Both of them. It's Gaius who has a dragon, or do both of them have a dragon?
We have no idea about Chandris.
Okay.
Well, as far as just Gaius.
Try to maybe hear what the story is that way. Maybe take some wine around to some servants or something, and just kind of be friendly.
I think that's
dip them a bit.
I think that would be a wise idea.
I don't disagree with you, but taking into account that the city is currently going through a raging storm caused by Sydon, are we able to get that kind of action in before we take action against the storm itself?
We could just do it today.
You do? Okay, so just make sure timetables here. So there is about 8 hours. Right now it's 11 a.m. close-ish. And so each hour, the storm will dissipate incrementally. So you do have time.
Oh, so they're doing it now. They're performing the ceremony right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the ceremony takes the entirety of the day, but it is incremental to completion throughout the day.
Yes.
Got it. I thought it was a build-up until full climax.
Yeah.
Boom. Wham, bam, thank you, man. We're done.
Blow your
All
But
right.
that is not.
Well-
We are a multiple pump chump.
Yeah.
Got it. Understood.
And I think maybe taking some time to try to learn more about our enemies would be the wisest.
Indeed.
Understanding
And
that.
in
I
that
agree.
case, can we quickly get some eyes? I'll keep track of Chandris and Gaius. Make sure that they don't mobilize to go interrupt the ceremony.
Oh, who would like to do that?
Personally, I'd leave that up to the mechanical bird from Andromache, whose name slips my mind.
Ornithea?
Ornithea.
That's it.
And there are other Amazons around, so
Yeah.
it's not
Asimi
like,
might try to go around and just be like, hey, we're the heroes of Thylea. We're trying to make the place better. If you see Gaius or Chandris doing some shit, can you come and can you make sure we hear about it?
Okay. All right. So you are going
Just try to make some friends.
Okay. So you are going to go make friends. Mythos, you are going to request the Amazons' help that are within the palace.
no, well, that's your idea, but it's mine now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought someone said something about Amazons and and there were
Gorby
Amazons.
did.
So Gorby, I'm so sorry. Gorby.
No, I didn't say anything.
Who said it? Somebody said it. Who said it?
No,
Okay, so
Shady
said-
mentioned that there are Amazons when
Oh.
Ornithea was brought up. I think in the line of, oh, hey, there are Amazons here, a mechanical bird is into weird sights. But I could be wrong.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then and then Onslow said,
I mean,
Gaia was talking
maybe
about.
that's something. Maybe that's something Asimi and Mythos could do. Just kind of walk around, chat up like the Amazon guards, some of the servants, maybe just try to get like a
So
little network.
I was
Get
gonna
the
say,
people on our
what if
side.
I was thinking more Andromache mythos, and because Asimi's, we need Asimi to go around talking to the servants and stuff, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, if we want to split that up.
So then, are you also going to speak with the guards that actually own the dragons?
I did just
So-
make BFFs with one of them.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
maybe-
that's Gaia.
With Thelma.
Maybe the three of maybe Andromache and Mythos talk to the Amazons since they have more of a rapport with them. I guess Gaia
Yeah.
does too, but Gaia's BFFs with the guards. Maybe you three hit up the muscle people, and maybe me and Calder hit up the servants and stuff.
I'd be down for that.
Calder used to whip dudes into shape. Knows how to act around soldiers too.
Well, yeah, but
I would
all
imagine.
4 of you guys know how to whip people into shape. It's just Asimi that's. And then, see, I don't know that we want to be entirely alone.
Yeah, Calder will go with Asimi, that way he's not isolated off by himself, and then he's more intelligence than charisma, so he'll let Asimi do the talking, but try to pick up details or inconsistencies with anything we hear.
Okay.
And he's like a novelty too, right? He's like, look at this Eladrin, you guys. Yeah.
Well-
yeah.
Well,
Eladrin are
I
a
think-
novelty.
okay,
Be like,
so
"Oh,
Asimi and Calder together. I think Gaia and maybe Mythos could go talk to the Dragonriders, while Andromache and Michaela here go rally the Amazons. Can we do some rolls to try and win Michaela over?
Actually, that'd be phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gaia can lead the charge. Gaia with Andromache, she can assist Andromache since Andromache she probably has the better charisma.
Yeah, actually, I
drive.
do. Kind of mentioning that. With all like the conversation, like I don't feel like we've shit on the 5 really. Like we've been frank, but we have been like supportive of what they're doing. Can we get a read on how Michaela is taking that at all? Like, is she like,
The
she like,
entire
yeah,
time you
hell
ignored
yeah.
you ignored her. So
Well, that's kind of see me kind of eyeing her out maybe here and there, and just seeing how she's reacting.
Okay, then I need insights. Whoever
I can do
is
that.
whoever's inciting, go
I
ahead and
definitely
roll.
Do that as well.
Why is my clock up all the way up there?
I think
could
Mythos
not
is too
type
used
it.
to having servants around that he can just
Going.
be frank in front of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I think
Asimi's used to it too. But like, see if she's like, is she like agreeing with what we're saying, or is she like, how dare you insult Valis? Valis is my queen.
So those are fantastic rolls. So it's a little bit of it's kind of like a little bit of both. There are things that you say that she is definitely stoic face. Like she is the queen's like stewardess, so she cannot show emotion on her face, and because she's also an Amazon, it's extra non-emotional. But there are certain things that you can kind of pick up on, where there's a tightening of the jaw, where you say something that might seemingly be unfair in her eyes. Same with there's things that
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
So, would it be possible with the initial approach of what was her name, Michaela?
Michaela.
Michaela, if I could use one of my 2nd level spell slots and cast Zone of Truth?
Okay. I mean, if that is what you'd like to do,
I would like to do that. Yeah, I didn't know I had it prepared, but I see it highlighted, and I'm like, okay, that seems like something that would be very beneficial.
Are you warning, or are you kind of?
I am just casting.
Okay.
She is aware of the spell.
Yeah.
Hold on,
She can resist it if she wants to.
I'll ping it. Yeah. How do can you see it? Yeah, there it is under rules.
Yeah.
An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions into which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answer as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. So she needs to beat a 14 charisma save to be able to truthfully lie to us.
Truthfully lie to you, no problem. Do you let her know what the spell is? I see that she's aware that there is a spell, but she I don't think it'll tell her that. Oh, this
I
is
am
the
not.
Zone of Truth.
I am not going to tell her that I'm
Okay.
casting a spell, but I don't think I'm going to hide that I'm doing it. I say, so, Michaela, as I like flourish both of my wings in this like aura of magic, kind of envelops the area. After everything we've just said, what is your thoughts on how you feel about what we've discussed versus your opinions of the Queen? Could you be truthful with us on that instance, or do you think you should mind your tongue?
Okay.
And that's what I'll ask.
Then with that information and letting her know that this, and then she feels that, she will go ahead and not do a saving throw.
Okay.
Charisma save.
I never liked you,
Natural
Gaia.
20.
What? Look at that wasted crit.
I know. Beautiful. I hope you get a natural 1 on your next one when it's really important.
Your voice sucks.
But I was so confident in my magic. What do you mean you don't like me?
No, I think you just said you like me.
Michaela goes ahead and listening to you, Gaia, feeling the wave of magic and kind of getting, she's not dumb, and understanding that you just cast a spell that would ask for the truth. She has like a bit of a hybrid accent, something where Andromache, you recognize a Themis accent, but it seems maybe she has been displaced for a while, perhaps, and so it's a little bit of a hybrid of like mainland accent kind of bleeding in. But she goes, "You have only to ask. What are your
Sorry, how
questions?"
old is she again?
Yeah, she
How old does this Amazon look?
She maybe around her. Let me just double check. I don't think they gave like. She looks maybe about like 35, give or take 35, 40.
Okay.
In her
She's
prime.
older than you.
Yeah, she's a generation ahead of me, basically.
Yeah, she's a generation ahead of you.
So, let me rephrase my question. And I'll be truthful. I've been walking with an Amazon for the last month. I don't think I could get by anything by her. So I'll be honest. I've cast a spell that has implored that you speak the truth, but it is not forceful if you can withstand it. I am asking, do you approve of the Five's current actions with the city's stance against the Titans? That is my question. Do you approve of the actions they've taken or not?
I appreciate your truthfulness and letting me know. And yes, I will be frank. There are some things that I am not pleased with. And at the same time, there are things that are beyond control, even for a goddess or a god who has to obey by the rules that the man or woman have decided.
Can you provide an example of those scenarios that they cannot act beyond their own personal control?
The goddess Valus, she is not a dictator. She respects those opinions of others and she respects the opinions of her people. Her people...
That would make sense with Kyra running around. Yes, I understand.
Kira, she kind of gives like a burst.
Right?
Side chuckle.
Right? She's the worst.
Kira is young. But Valus, she, again, like I said, not a dictator. And the gods have, during the height of the first 400 years or so, the powers and the belief from the people were great. And therefore, they were able to sway a little bit more in their decisions. However, now that it is not just Valus who, not too long ago, 30 or so years ago, decided that she was going to share her burden. And this is not hidden. Like, there is contempt a little
She doesn't
bit.
like marriage.
She'll continue. She does not hide her contempt on the sharing her burden with somebody. She continues sharing her burden with somebody who decides that he will parade and make promises. Of course, he has supposedly shown that he has been able to keep the promise of bringing back the Dragonlords, though I have my own questions that I will keep to myself. I do not know you guys just yet.
Do you know how he obtained these dragons?
Now that is something that I myself and Valus are questioned as well. We do not know 100%, he will not say, but he is definitely prideful in that he had found said eggs.
So you're saying that the goddess of wisdom also doesn't know how the king brought these dragons?
It is most puzzling, and she is
Mm.
on her end searching for that answer. However, those close to the king, again, contempt, seems to many times put situations that would take Valus away to deal with city things. I will be honest. She's
You
always
think the king
busy.
is a snake?
A very bad snake. I think it's perhaps the more appropriate would be if it is
Coward.
a bit.
Falling to the
He
side,
hides
he
behind
believes he would
bravado.
win without the backbone.
This is true. He does not. He plays. He is definitely someone who charms. He is the person that you bring to a party and it makes it fun. Nah, blah blah. He is not one necessary to get one done.
You and I have very different descriptions of the word charming.
Is it because he has a... Never mind.
Very shiny crown.
Very shiny crown, yes.
Yes, that. Mostly that.
And that he likes to polish.
Again, he has claimed when he was going to come to be king that he would bring back the Dragonlords. He has proclaimed that for years, and he has done so. In the eyes of the city, he is a hero.
That's interesting.
But that
Is
puts
it?
then Valus in a particular spot.
I think what I'm getting out of this is that Valis is unable to prove her worth and that we should do it in her stead.
Yes and
But
no.
I could have had one too many wines before we arrived. So that's on me.
It is a yes and no. I believe in her. She has done many good. She has kept the city still running after all these years by herself. And I stress the by herself. She has kept the people safe. When things go awry, she would take charge. She would use her knowledge. She would use her powers. She, out of all the gods, have put the most into the city. Before he just likes to fight. And she kind of like moves in a little bit closer to you guys. And she just kind of like, but I have my suspicions. We both have suspicions, though we cannot say it out loud so much. But I'm sure that with everything else going on, there is little less nosy around the walls. But I think that there's a lot of things that have happened at the same time that go against the gods. Take, for instance, this. What's going on with the whole Heartlands, the droughts, the riots and the craziness that's going on in the Heartlands with the goblinoids attacking the people. taking down stuff just wanton. They've never done that before. Why? And then they flood the Estoria. And then Pithor's daughter is taken captive, and he is held hostage a bit because he's an idiot. I'm not going to lie. Great fighter. Stupid.
So,
And-
are you saying there is an active, definitive corporate espionage? Is that what we're getting at here?
I think she's, if I may interject, I think she is not putting it beyond the possibility, but there might be somebody acting. No, he might be a figurehead of contempt, or of a plan.
Indeed.
Yes, but you're not.
It's
But
as
you're not
if he
certain.
would-
But you're not certain. He might
I
just
don't-
be a. He might just be an idiot.
Idiot,
The king.
yeah. I don't think, if you're talking about the king, I don't think he has the brains to do it. I'm not going to lie. I think what she says. I think there is something there that is putting walls and masking and redirecting attention where the attention should be at the problem and the source. And it is taking a toll.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, Michaela. Means a lot.
And also, I have been listening in. We do have people watching the others. We do not trust them. Tolerated, but not trust.
You mean Gaius and Chandras?
Oh, absolutely, especially Gaius. Chandras likes to pretty about.
He's like a schmoozer.
Oh,
is he
very
a sh-
much. Yes, but he, for some reason, has decent conversations. He's not an idiot. That's the most dangerous part. If he was a little more like the fluff head, no, he's there's something inside of his head.
Is that what we call concubines?
The fluff head?
Fluff have heads?
The pretty
Fluff-
one, the one who just has, the face and the hair. That's about
but-
it.
But you just called her pretty, though.
You
Yeah,
think she's
she's
pretty?
Of course.
Like, if you had to, and you're still under the effects of this spell, never mind. Calder's giving me a.
Blast your pass.
Yeah.
To be frank,
Man, I'm
both
not
of them.
gonna
I
judge.
don't care.
I'm
At that point, it just depends on her answer. Death or the opposite.
Anyways,
Okay.
I'm glad to
Um,
hear it. But from what you said, it's only piqued my interest more. I
It
need to
should.
get to the bottom of this Dragonlord business.
Agreed. Now, it is fine to talk with those who had brought you here. They are they are protectors of the city, and they did receive the dragons, some of them on the assurances of Valus herself. So they are trustworthy enough. Don't just give up all the information, but you can ask, and that they are again, especially the men, they are warriors, and they'll do what they say. They will answer a question, and then you will find Icarus, if possible, probably in one of the gardens. He has his own little entourage, and he is the pretty one that likes to preen.
and who is Icarus? Just
He
one of
is
the
the
fighters?
No. Icarus is. Let me just get the thing. I lost it. Oh, here it is. Nope, I lost it.
Like the Greek Icarus, right?
Yeah,
Is
Icarus.
spelling? Okay.
I just had it. I was looking at it, and I don't know where it went. I'm sorry. But she basically says Icarus is the dragon of what's his name, of Acastus.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And
Well,
the only thing I would suggest is just stay away from Argin. He is the silver dragon that belongs to Gaius. He will try and eat you. I'm not going to lie. He's pretty bad. Or she, I'm sorry. She is not friendly in all terms of the word.
Okay.
Well, that's no good.
While the others act like they are little children pups, this one is a little vicious. Oh, there's Icarus.
Do you know what color Icarus was?
Yeah, a silver dragon, adult
Silver.
silver
silver, okay.
dragon. Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't change that. It would have been awkward saying the wrong metallic color.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Are you a spy for Queen Valis, or can you return to your duties or anything like that? Or do you need to be here?
Yeah, she told me to hang out with you guys, so
Okay.
I guess I have to be here. But
That's fair.
I could loosely in the where to be here as long as I'm with one of you. I could just
I don't want to-
babysit.
I don't want to anger the
supervise.
Queen or anything.
Chaperone. I'm bored too. Give me something to do.
Michaela, you and I could get one too many drinks on the clock, and
I'm fine.
interrupt the queen or the king
Well,
in his court. I live in the woods. I don't quite care what my opinion is in the city. Be any distraction, I can give you one. Just get me a picture.
That sounds like fun, but I'm not going to lie. The king is stupid, and I don't like being in his presence too much. But if it's for you, you seem sweet. I'll do it.
I'm just throwing out the idea. I mean that. I don't know why that sounded like an insult, but what is the group thing? You guys want me to take away our guard for the day, or we are all within? If you are close enough within me, within the realm of truth, unless you want to make a save.
I failed my save. I am bound to speak the truth. I hate you so much, Gaia.
You have to keep making it every 6 seconds.
No.
You made the save, you
Yeah,
butthole!
You 20 asshole.
No. Oh, more enters the turn there.
All right, just in the interest of time, as it is an hour and almost 30 minutes in, what's the final plan?
Maybe we could take a break and discuss it.
Okay.
Exactly
So
what we
let's.
want, or I don't know.
That sounds like a good.
Yes. Just want to make sure. All right, then we'll come back in about 10 minutes. So 12 minutes, actually, since the time is going to change. And we'll meet back in about 12 minutes.
That's
Okay,
good.
bye. Live. Woo! Live. Live. We're not dead.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah,
To continue the
Perfect.
conversation
We
of
are
Asimi
still alive.
during break, the idea of subterfuge, what if we kind of split the party while Asimi, you and those who are good at that act go in and find those who are whatever the fuck you just said, if you could reinstate it, MLA
Okay,
format.
so who else is really good at lying
Not me.
and can shapeshift?
So I'm thinking if you can do that with your talents, those who are good at speaking truth or their opinions can be up on the surface and do
Yeah.
the opposite of what you're doing to grab the other half of the audience.
Yeah, I think having Mythos ask to be made a dragon rider isn't a bad idea. We don't know how many dragons there are either. That'd be something. Maybe we could go talk to maybe Gaia and maybe Andromache could go talk to the dragon. Could go talk to Icarus.
Yeah.
And see like how we know he's kind of childless, but might be able to take advantage of that. Find out where he's from, if there's how many brothers and sisters he have, etc.
We could also still get information from the dragon riders. Gaia made friends with one on the way here.
That's true. Yeah, we could ask those. In terms of lore, are dragons like also regarded as highly intelligent creatures in this, or are they more?
Well, from what Gaia, I believe, checked last game with the copper dragons, they were young, and while they could kind of understand, and it seemed that they could talk with each other, they didn't speak common. But you don't know about the other ones. These
we know in history,
right, but are they like?
Historically,
yes,
yeah,
historically, absolutely, they are highly intelligent creatures.
Okay, so we know before the dragons we interacted with, we know that almost every, if not all, dragon within history had the ability to communicate.
Yeah.
I guess more so like beyond the ability to communicate. Like, are they like intelligent creatures? Can they be tricked into revealing their potential secret birthplace, or is that a foolish and perhaps dangerous, at risk of offending them, kind of plan?
Depends on the dragon. So the dragons that you guys know of in Memorial basically would be copper dragons, bronze dragons, and silver dragons. Those are the only three that are known, that I would say more widely known.
How dare you hide the page with Thelma's Dragonaut so I can remember his name? You bully.
What?
I can't fucking remember the dragon's name IRL.
Which one? The one Icarus?
Thelma's dragon. No, Thelma's dragon.
Okay, it wasn't Daisy. It was a badass name. I don't remember.
It was a good one.
Cinnamon.
It's not Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
No, it was
Run this city to the ground, Cinnamon!
It was Jardius.
Jardius, that's it.
I think, or Beedrot. Oh, there's Beedrot, Daisy, Jardius, and Ziadru.
Jardius, open the helmet.
Jardius is the whatever, the head guard's dragon. Okay. I completely lost my train of thought. So sorry.
All right.
Should be sorry.
I mean, I don't think like we're not. We could even be like we are interested, right? Like, hey, how much are they willing to tell us about where they came from? We're the fucking heroes of Thylea.
We would have to ask. Like, this is like, people are saying like, yeah, dragons were extremely smart and intelligent, and you can banter with them and they will respond. Trying to trick a dragon is difficult just by nature.
I don't even know if we need to try to trick them, right? Just see what they're willing to say.
Basically, but if they will give you secrets or they will give you information if they feel the need to. So yeah.
Okay, maybe Mythos goes talk to the king. Maybe can Mythos go by himself for that? I mean, if it's going to like the court or whatever, that's safe. And then maybe the three others. I don't know. I'm worried about Asimi getting like caught doing some like bad shit. Well, maybe like Calder could be in the neighborhood or something, helping out.
Just so we're progressing.
Yeah.
How about organically we just start going through, because we are halfway. So we'll do the first thing, which is, I believe, going to talk with the guards.
Are you talking to the guards now?
I'm not sure. What's the first thing we'd like to do?
Okay.
Maybe we could talk to the guards and ask them to maybe let us know if the followers of the twins get up to some nonsense. Like, make sure we're staying in the loop.
Weren't the Amazons already doing that?
Yeah, we're
right.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to like talk to the guards to be more like, I don't know, to investigate the dragons is why it was brought up. Like,
Yeah.
is there like a hatchery? Is there a place that they all tamed it together? Is there a ritual chamber we can go to?
Okay. So we'll just
Or is it
pretend
like locked up? Yeah.
They say that they were. We'll just. I'll just kind of verbally say this instead of trying to role play stuff out. When you meet with the guards and you ask them like, "Oh, how did you get your dragon?" They basically respond back that only those of the top elite that have proven their worth to the city, blah blah blah, are presented as dragon eggs are available, or as the dragon eggs become available, and then the dragon eggs hatch, and after something happens within a few months or something like that, they receive a dragon. So it's not an infinite amount. They're limited. So far from what they know is that it's still difficult to get dragon eggs, but somehow they are being procured and by Acastus. But in terms of having like a hatchery or a place where the dragon eggs are stored, they themselves do not know.
So Acastus is fucking a dragon.
Well, so yeah. I guess, do we get the impression that it's a kind of like they're being actively bred, or is it like there's a limited number and you're waiting till people achieve certain status before they hand them out?
It's kind of like both. So at this point in time, it is finding enough dragon eggs and finding mates to pair with. They have said that a lot of the dragons are mentally young, and so do not respond like they're still too young. They're not in the mating at all, but they say hopefully eventually when they have a good number and they like each other, they will hopefully mate. They cannot breed dragons in a sense because dragons have their own minds entities, and they are choosy with their partners, and that's historically accurate, I guess, in that sense.
Okay.
So we get the sense that
Very
Acastus
cool.
has his end. He's keeping super quiet so that he gets to control the dragon population.
Can we get a feel?
So Cassis has a dragon brothel.
Yeah, like he figured out the secret and he's keeping that because that was like his claim to fame. Okay.
I'm looking at Beth different now. She's a polymorphed silver dragon. No. Can we get a feel while we're chatting with them, and maybe after we've gotten the information, maybe even a couple of pointed questions more to see if the guards are like worshippers of the Titans, or if they're the five or neutral.
Or maybe if they're like more like the queen is our queen, or like are they queensmen or are they kings?
There you
So
go.
go ahead. Good way of putting it. So go ahead and roll a couple of persuasion checks. If you're going to ask with another person and you would like to roll separately, or one of you roll with advantage, you can.
I don't know that Asimi's here for that. I think Asimi's going to be doing his prep for maybe trying to do some undercover work.
Sure.
Okay. I can roll persuasion.
Yeah, it's not terribly hard. Like if you can get over
maybe Calder can
14 or something like that.
I'd say Calder was there, but he's not very charismatic.
It's fine. It's not that they're unwilling to tell. It's more of that it's like personal. So it's one of those things where half of them say that they follow the queen a little bit more so than the king, and other ones are a little bit more on the I wouldn't say faithless, like they believe in the gods, obviously, because they see them, but they want to protect and keep the city safe. So far, no one has openly said that they side with either Sydon or with Lutheria from the dragon riders that you have rode in with.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't mind them neutral. They just,
Yeah.
we don't like the ones that follow the Titans.
Yeah, so far you had the only one that you definitely know follows the Titan is Gaius, that has a dragon. So that is something that everyone
What's
knows.
his second in command? Brachius? Briseis?
Bracia?
Bracia, thank you.
His
That
cousin?
one also follow the Titans. Cousin? Oh, that.
Whose
never
cousin
mind.
was
Sorry,
that?
who's this?
Bracia.
Oh, Bracia.
His second in
The
command.
second
I
in
think
command.
I think it was already someone
she doesn't
have a
mentioned it.
Yeah, she mentioned that she called him cousin once, and he didn't like it.
Yeah, hated it.
Who's he?
Gaius.
Gaius.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Brissia that you know of does not have a dragon, as she flies with two Aarakocra.
Kenkus.
Yeah.
Aarakocras? Kenkus.
Aarakocra. There's no Kenkus in this campaign.
So
They just look like a Kenku.
next, I think, would be Asimi.
Yeah, so maybe Asimi could like get Michaelia to bring him some like servant clothes, like a servant outfit.
Yeah, easily done.
And he'll shapeshift himself. I think he'll make sure to do it away from Michaelia. He doesn't like want her to know. He'll pass it off as if he's using magic, right?
Absolutely.
So he'll try to just go and like talk around, like pose himself off as just like that friendly guy that you're like, oh yeah, what was his name?
New
kind
guy.
of thing.
Sure.
Yeah, like the newish guy that's like,
Greg, the intern.
yeah, like
Okay.
I think there is an art to being forgettable to an extent, but like still being
the new
like, that's
guy
part
that
of the...
is learning and needs to know stuff. Easily played. But just for performance sake, can you go ahead and roll first off performance, and then
performance or deception?
Your performance in your shapeshifting and acting like a servant, and then your deception instead of persuasion for acting innocent and asking like interesting questions. The performance is not going to be high. It's going to, as long as you get over a 10, that is just to like you're a servant, and if you basically...
Well, I just say because Asimi has a curse on his performance.
I know.
Which was meant more for magic or for singing, but okay. That's fine. Let's see what happens. I roll persuasion. Wait, no, yeah, so.
I
4.
love it.
Very good.
That's fine. And then go ahead and go ahead and roll deception.
Okay.
This is what I was waiting for. I'm so excited. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, that was also almost another 5.
So your performance in acting as a servant is a little bit lost. Like people are like, why don't you know what you're doing? And you're kind of getting bossed around. And so you find yourself inexplicably having to perform these tasks. However, your deception... oh, I didn't see it.
No, I said that's part of the role, is it like the persona.
Exactly. But your deception in asking for conversational purposes is fine. People are like, oh my God, this idiot kid. Basically, you get scolded and you have to do things. As you are going around and you're asking from one to another, you are getting very familiar with the castle, that is for sure. The same with the servants, they are a bit of a hodgepodge of gossips, especially when you get into like the kitchen or like the maids area where they kind of gather. Many things kind of go about when you're listening in. One is the heroes, and everyone's like, oh, I must see what they look like. Super excited. The second one is the rumor that the gods are going to perform a miracle, and they have been witnessed going towards their temples, and maybe something is happening, not sure. So there's a bit of excitement going on. The third one is the dragon Icarus is being a child again and needs to have his mess cleaned up. The third one, hold on, what's the other one? The third one is
I will say specifically he wants to find out like if the king's having any secret meetings or like private meetings with Gaius or Chandras.
That's very pointed. They kind of look at you and they're like, why would you want to know? But then when you explain to them maybe that you have to clean his chambers and you want to make sure that the time isn't during the time that they meet.
It's just so scary, They're so intimidating.
Your Valley Boy voice. They explained that yes, they do meet because that is a part of his kingly duties as the temple of Sydon and the head of Sydon when he wishes to speak, he must give an audience. That is one of his responsibilities. Same with Lutheria, but he tolerates Chandris way less. Like, doesn't like him, will avoid him at all costs. And so sometimes it's as little as possible meetings with them. But Gaius is a force to be reckoned with and must be obeyed in a sense. So he does meet with them, but it's more so out of necessity in such than always being near each other all the time, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So no real leads on that front.
No real leads on that front. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? Or view or look at as you are being toted around?
No, maybe. Okay. No, I don't think so. I think he's just gonna try to play like the dumb servant for the most part.
No problem.
Not try to get too ahead of himself.
Okay, so no exploring. We're done. Next.
Nowhere secret. Nowhere he wouldn't normally.
Okay.
Nowhere he wouldn't go as a servant.
I think Calder's kind of interested in trying to talk with this Icarus.
Oh, okay. So you want to talk with Icarus? Un momento, por favor.
Por favor, mi amigo.
Oh god, I think she's getting an actual map.
Yes. I always have maps.
No,
one
told
point.
to stay away.
I want at one point.
No, Icarus, you
if
can
I
see.
can.
Yeah.
Asimi to and like I think he disguised himself as like a female servant, and he wants to like be passing. If he sees like Calder passing, just like bump into him hard. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're one of the heroes, aren't you? You're so handsome.
Go ahead, Calder, because I'm pretty sure you saw what he looked like. Do whatever you want with that.
No.
Do whatever you want is
such
a bold statement as a DM.
They wouldn't
I
know.
love it.
That's the point.
Fuck up everything right now, please.
Assassin!
Yeah.
No.
No, it would have taken him some time to get changed. I wanted to be him to not know off the bat if possible. I do think there's a check you could make to see through. Is there for shapeshifter? I don't know.
No, not for shapeshifting.
For changelings, I don't think so.
No, there's not. It's seamless. It's more so if Calder has already seen what you look like when you changed. That's. Oh, okay. So, all right. You just disappeared. Calder, yeah, take what you want. Anyway.
Went out the back door. Went out the servant door.
I'm
so sorry. Oh, you're so strong. Look at you. So muscled.
Yeah, Calder just gives you a deadpan look and keeps walking.
What the fuck? It's so cold.
Full well who the fuck that was.
So unattainable, so handsome, must have him.
So unattainable.
My name's Jediah. I want to have your babies.
Oh.
In Celestial, he just says, I swear to God, Asimi, if that's you.
What is he saying? Is he saying a prayer?
Oh my god, that is so hot right now.
Yeah, it's so hot. I love a holy man.
Okay.
And then you go to Icarus.
Scene. All right. Calder, you go ahead and ask for go do it first off an investigation check. While Michaela did say like, oh, you'll find Icarus in a garden, you don't know where that garden is. So look for some. Okay, yeah, that's good. Oh wow, that's really good. Even 13 was fine. So you find someone and they direct you to where Icarus would be. Even and as you are a hero, they will walk you there. You enter. Let me. Here we go. Wonderful. Fantastic, this book. Anyway, so as you leave, you see this wonderful, beautiful garden that is on the east side of the palace. I'm sorry, the north side of the palace. And as you continue forward, you see this enormous silver rump with a tail wagging in the air. And its front, you see the dragon Icarus. It's enormous, huge, silver as it is. And it's like half part of its body looking through some bushes? Question mark. It is definitely on top of a bunch of silver coins. It's little hoard. There's a couple of attendants that are cleaning up shit, basically, that was left there on the side at the little porta potty. And yes, what would you like to do?
Right. I think Calder would kind of approach, not get too close. He's still not really sure about the whole dragon thing or how they act. He's only heard like odd stories. But maybe speak up and just go, "Are you this Icarus I've heard so much about?"
Icarus, you hear a rumble, deep rumble of, "Shh, not right now."
Can I see what he's doing, or is he just digging in bushes?
Yeah, you go forward and you see Icarus is looking. As you go forward, there is a hedge. It's this beautiful wall that now has an Icarus-size hole. And you kind of like have to move the shrubbery away, make make a hole for yourself. And you see Icarus is looking into another garden with your elven eyes. You can Eladrin eyes. You can see that Icarus is looking past another set of gardens. And there is another somewhat similar in like this, but it's on the west side, west garden. Someone doing something, looks like they're training in that garden, and they're like whoofing and wahing and training in the garden by themselves, and he's like doing his own bets in his own brain apparently, so he's just kind of like snooping.
Yeah, I think Calder would look at that, look at this dragon watching this person train intently. And I don't think he was present when people were getting told the information of like, oh yeah, that Icarus, he's just a giant kid, huh?
Wait, did you say you weren't or you were?
I don't think I was, because Mythos went off to talk with the guards.
Oh, no,
Asimi's...
you were there.
Mikalia alluded to it.
Michaelis said that he was a child, kind of. He acts like he may be an adult, but adult body, but he acts like a child.
Gotcha.
Kind of like the bronze ones.
So, I think Calder would kind of just kind of make the comment of, "Are you interested in the training regiment of soldiers then?"
Icarus like sees you also sneaking peeks and kind of like looks at you, gives a weird grin. It's a smiling face with teeth, but there's mirth in its eyes, and he's like, "Training? Nah, she's just pretty."
Oh Lord.
So shiny. You want to make a bet?
What sort of bet?
Okay. I bet you 1 silver. Because he's cheap. This is the thing. Every time she takes the whip and she goes, whooch, and it kicks it right, slices it right down the middle, right? But then she does this also really weird trick where she tries to take the spear and she fucks it up every single time. And she tries to hit the apple. Always fails. Except once. I bet you she fell.
All right. Tell you what, if I win the bet, will you answer a question of mine?
Sure. Okay. He kind of like not absentmindedly, he like blindly takes a claw and like picks up a silver coin, and like some just drum, like ding ding ding, they just drop down, and he holds it up, and exactly how he says, the person in the other garden takes a whip, expertly whips it, uses it, and slices an apple in half, and then the person takes a spear. And can you just go ahead and do a perception? Yeah. Perception
Sure.
check. It is just for fun.
That's on par.
Yeah. It's like, why am I doing this? I need to do something. Okay. Let's see if this person actually does make it. And oh, okay. The person releases the spear, and you see that Icarus is like, miss, like chanting under his breath, but the spear pierces the apple straight through, and Icarus is almost outraged, but pouts. He doesn't outrage and like thrash about. He's kind of too, even to him, he's too big for that, but he sulks, and he kind of like goes back and says, fine, and hands out he's huge in his claws that are the same length as like your head plus your neck. He hands you a silver coin.
All right. Caldor will take it, kind of give a small nod towards the dragon. It was just like, I'm curious. I've heard stories about dragons since I was young. If you don't mind me asking, where did you come from?
Icarus looks at you, and he at first he was like a little bit like, okay, what is this person? And then you ask him such a boring question. He's like, an egg, dummy.
In hindsight, that's on me.
Yeah. He starts like looking back, like starting to turn his attention not as captivated anymore as you asked him a question.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not the person to be talking with this guy. He's real dumb.
All right, Gaia.
I mean, you've had kids
level
before. Your character has kids. I mean,
hey, can we just address the insult that was just said in front of all of the fucking group right there? Heck you bully! You're not wrong, but fuck you.
You started it today.
All right. So, seeing as how very clearly maturity does not match his size, Calder will kind of shift gears and just be like, so... And I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this, because I, the player, am not good with kids.
How do you need help? What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to basically strike up a conversation and get the dragon to start talking about itself.
So who's mom and dad?
Eggs have to come from somewhere.
What do you do for a living?
Where are you from?
How much you make?
So you got any goals after high school?
Icebreaker.
Where do you see yourself in 5
Are
years?
you interested in anybody?
Is this dress green or
What are you
blue?
looking for on this app?
Okay, so we'll just say you ask it like a question of what does it like to do any given day. Okay, so we'll just say that. What are your hobbies? There you go. Kids love hobbies. Icarus kind of like looks over back to you as you asked a question that would allow him to talk about himself this time. And he goes, well, I love counting my money. That's always good. And then I love annoying the servants. That's the best thing. I took a shit over there not too long ago, and now they have to clean it up. Makes me laugh.
Oh my god.
Enormous
so
dragon
good.
dookie.
I took a shit right over there just like 30 seconds ago while you were talking. It's fucking amazing. Like, that's so funny.
Kids, man. I'm tapping into my inner child. He continues to talk about like, and then sometimes I go for a ride and I take the king with me. You know the simple things in life, and we go around and make it pretty. But I haven't been able to do that. I've been stuck sitting here all the time because it's so boring. Because there's a storm outside. No, I will go out because I'm strong. But sometimes if you're not holding on correctly, you can fall off. So I don't care. Anyway. And then I walk the grounds and then I spy on that person down there. But I can't go down there. I'm not allowed because it's not my property. It's for value. So she's stuck up. I don't like her. She's boring. Too many things that you have to abide by and rules. Why? And then sometimes I like to paint with my tail. That's good too. You take some colors. Well, I don't take them. They're given to me, of course, because I'm an expert painter.
Fuck the patriarchy, so I make like pretty dope art. Like,
basically.
I fucking love this.
My mom doesn't understand me.
You can check on my Etsy store.
It's not a fucking phase, bro, alright? Like, I'll make a living off it. I fucking love it.
I want to go to school.
I'm just waiting
for
to
it,
go viral right now. It's gonna happen any day now.
They don't have dragon-sized classrooms, though. It's really inconvenient.
Almost done. He continues and goes, he's like, but my favorite part is I love doing this. This is my this is my favorite, is when I get to go out in the city and get pets. I'm so beautiful.
Get pets? Is that we said like strokes from another individual?
Yes.
All the people, they love me. They give me all the flowers, and they give me food, and they give me coin. And my favorite part is, I get to strut about. I'm very strong, very powerful, and then I just go about and show how glorious I am.
Yes,
I love doing
sure
that.
Sure the people in the town must love it when you come around.
Oh, they do. They come out of their houses and they scream, and some cry, and others come down on their knees. And my favorite part is when they start to pray to me because I'm beautiful, so smart, so powerful. Look at these muscles. And he goes and does this, shows his muscles.
Flexes like he's doing the bicep and then tricep pose with each arm, like
as best as a dragon can get his arm up, but it kind of more of
he may be huge, but no muscle is actually showing through. He's just in a stance that is supposed to show muscle.
Basically, it's like that glorious stance that sometimes reptiles like lizards do. Anyway, he continues on, but last time I couldn't go out because, there's a stupid storm, but I can weather it just fine. But they won't let me go, so now I'm just stuck here. It's so stupid.
Way dumbo.
And what does Calder say to that? To all that?
Yes.
Good question.
That was a lot more than I was expecting, Ellie. Well played.
Have you spoken to a child?
Not in many years, and there's a reason why I'm really bad at this.
Oh man, I love children. They just go on forever. You just give them like one sentence, and they'll make it into a freaking novel. It's great.
Either that or it's like pulling teeth.
Oh yeah, that's true. Depends on which kid. But this one is like an extrovert, so easy. Do you want to go outside?
Well, I hear the storm's going to be ending soon. You should be able to be going out on the town again before too long.
You say this, and it's like saying, "Do you want to go for a walk, boy?" to a dog.
I've made a terrible mistake.
You have to puppies. And he jumps up and down in his pile of silver, kind of just goes everywhere. He does one turn and is just like elated. He's like, "What's your name?" "My name, I am Icarus."
I'm Calder.
Calder. Good. What does that mean? What kind of name is that? That's stupid. Anyway, so we go this way.
Roasted.
That's 100% what a child would say.
Yeah, 100%. I'm pretty sure a kid has called my name stupid before.
Pick better names. Forehead. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, I promise you one ride because you're special and you told me some good news. I feel happier. Now, can I go back to the pretty person now? Because she'll be done in an hour. She's just so shiny.
Yes, you go back to your watching, I guess.
Okay, good. You come back when the storm is going to be gone, and then we go outside and show the people how beautiful I am, and they give me stuff. And he settles back in. He turns around, butt to you. You may want to move, and he kind of.
Yep, he Calder is quickly backing up.
All right, cool. And he goes back to muttering of like left, right, kind of whatever. Okay, that seems to be his bored his form of entertainment in his boredom. All right, cool. Well, that happened. Next.
Mythos? Was Mythos?
We did I did the.
Oh, I was gonna say, were we gonna go
cards.
be like investigate becoming a dragon rider? Were we gonna do that?
I'm not sure on timing, given the information that we've gotten. Yeah.
We got 45. Lay into it.
I don't know that we had anything else specific, did we?
And
I don't think anything for this session. I mean, you got like an hour and a half, or half an hour plus, so go for it, bro. You got the time.
Oh yeah.
I think you meant the timing more like the timing of the news that we got, like in-game timing, not in-session timing.
Yeah, I would say with you guys spreading out, it would probably be about an hour and a half. During the hour and a half, you don't quite see too much change in the weather. Again, it's incremental.
Can I get my hands on a longbow?
Yeah.
It's got to be longbows in the castle, right?
Yeah, they'll point they point you to the gymnasium.
All right.
Or the weapon
Thank you.
room, which is next to the gymnasium.
Perfect. So add that to my sheet quick. I'm gonna leave. Nah, never mind. No, I think, yeah, I think I'm confronting Acastus about how to become one of his Dragonlords in quotes, right? Because it's just kind of to figure out more information. But maybe do that after the storm has lifted.
Okay. Okay. So are you guys waiting until it's safe enough to, instead of gale force winds, it's more of like a brisky wind day, like halfway? Is that the plan?
Yeah, maybe. And start spreading the word to everybody gather at the Temple of the Five.
I'm gonna reach back out to the group here. I may have had one too many drinks. Can we give me a recap of what Gaia's role is in this party split? Forgetting.
So I think we have Gaia go out and like start getting the word around. Get as many people to the Temple of the Five as we can.
Perfect.
For cloud breaking. Try to time it that the clouds break.
Sure. Sorry, was that 45-minute deadline for the cloud break? Is that?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that for the 45
session? sessioned.
Oh, wait.
We're confused.
Okay. Yeah. I'm okay. I thought
Well,
Mythos mentioned there was only 45 minutes. Was that Chinny saying there's only 45 minutes?
I think that was Onslow saying.
Oh, that's for
there were
the
45
the
minutes.
duration of the remainder amount of time that we have in session before
Oh,
we end session.
okay. That wasn't in game time. Okay.
No, not in game time.
that was IRL time.
IRL,
Okay.
yeah.
So with Gaia, since Chinny wants to wait till like kind of end the session, Andromache being more of a stoic one, and Calder and getting his verbiage in. Asimi, is there anything you want to do before I kind of take off here? Oh, you already did. You already
yeah, I
did
did
your
my thing, yeah.
conversations with the
Yeah, I
folks.
figured
Okay.
that would take several hours, all
Okay.
told.
So Gaia's gonna go to the streets with hopefully like maybe waiting a little bit of time, maybe like an hour or so for the storm to subside, so her voice can carry a little bit further. We'll see she waits like 1 hour, with Asimi's interaction taking a couple hours. She will take to the street and she will start preaching more towards what she has stated already to Valis, in the sense of the five have not taken action when they could, but we, the chosen, will, and have guided the five. And with the assistance of the five and us, together we can defeat the calamity known as the Titans while addressing the storm above. And she'll give very, very proclamated statements regarding us and the five being the winning side versus the two Titans kind of being the antagonists of mortality.
Sure.
But while she's making these comments, I don't know if I'm sure you'll want me to make a roll while making these comments. She's going to be working towards, I think if I'm remembering correctly, the bridges are called the Harp Bridges, or like the Harpy
The Harp
Bridges or
Bridge.
something. The Harp Bridge. She's gonna move towards the Harp Bridge on the other side of town, and hopefully her voice can carry enough to grab a couple sirens' attention, so she can start singing on the bridge and get more sirens to join her on the bridge again, knowing that, having visited the city before, this was a big attraction for like a touristy kind of town. Having the sirens sing kind of like almost every morning and or every night, depending on your setting. She wanted to grab the attention of those who would perform after giving this like 20 to 30-minute speech to get to the bridge and then start singing, preferably about the song of the past where her civilization was lost,
Okay.
to get the emotions kind of really riling up.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Hopefully
Okay.
making a name for us in the five.
I love that. So first, because it's the first hour and there
Sure.
isn't necessarily, it's still very loud, very rainy. There's no more hail, but it is a storm that you're going to have to face. Are you taking anybody with you? I think you were talking about taking Michaela, or maybe that was like a previous conversation to like the king or something.
I think it was kind of be me thing on my own, if I'm
Okay.
remembering correctly. Andromache and Michaela would stay behind. I'm not entirely sure. Andromache, do you have any thoughts on that? What is I bringing Michaela compared to what you remember, or?
I don't. I feel like Michaela is kind of just camping out with us at quote home base. I don't think she's venturing out much, but I
Okay.
could be wrong.
We
One thing
can we
Andromache
show
might
up as we finish our own things, like as we're like one by one catching up with the Gaia?
I would imagine
Before
it would
heading
take me
into the
about
temple.
30 minutes to get to the bridge to cross town while making this proclamation.
It
And
would
then
take a
it'd
little
probably
bit
be
longer with the storm.
okay. So we'll say probably roughly about an hour.
Yeah.
So for those who
Don't
had
waste time, we
interactions
got
that would
time.
take time, I know Caldera said his would take about an hour and a half. I don't know if he would make it before the songs would end. But Mythos, I don't know about you. How long would it take you to get to town?
Let me
Or
real
the
quick.
bridge.
I don't have a map just yet. I can grab you guys a map and link it to you guys later. But the town is enormous, and there is definitely a north, south, east, west of town. You going towards the Harp Bridge
West.
is definitely west, and it's the furthest part. So that's why I said it's gonna take you a little bit longer, especially in the storm. So if you're going, it takes about an hour. You're doing your thing. You go there, you find perhaps some people and come back. And then is another person going to follow you, or are they going to go south, or is another person going to go east so that it gets word around Eve?
Honestly, as a stance of power and authority, I wouldn't really mind Andromache kind of tagging along, more so as like a body of empowerment to the chosen. While I may be frail and weak, I'm good with words and charisma. Andromache could be, although a halfling, the persona of power and diligence and direction within the group, right? I may be speaking, be like, damn, she's really good at word, and looking at Andromache, be like, oh, fuck, like someone actually gets shit done, like.
Okay.
Yeah, she could do her best to just kind of like be a like
Or, like,
not imposing figure, but like be
Stoic.
like hey, we're here to get shit done. Like we're like we're no
Sure.
fooling around, kind of like that kind of vibe. If it's worth anything, I'm trained in intimidation.
Yeah.
It's good. No, that's fucking delicious. They're good. I am making that map in a second. So then if you guys are both going together in the same direction, go ahead, Andromache, and I need you guys to do this separately. Andromache and Gaia, if you can just make strength checks, especially for this first hour.
Strength checks.
Yeah, man, you gotta.
Would
you gotta,
athletics work?
Fucking hold on.
This is like seriously. You have to. The reason why you guys were able to come up is because the guards were with you with their shields in V formation. Yeah, and then so like you are going by yourself. Well, Andromache, who's also like you're strong though. So
Got it.
Can I do it as an athletics?
If you're proficient.
Athletics is I guess because you're forcing using your yeah
It's like a force march kind of deal.
Exactly. Yeah,
okay.
that's fine.
Okay. So before I make this roll, I need to ask. I have DM's inspiration. I want to know how you, DM Ellie, define that, so I know how to use
wherever
it.
You want it. I'm
okay, so let me give you an example. Do you have it where I roll a dice, and if I don't like it, I can re-roll, or if the 2 dice shown in roll within Foundry, if the second number is higher, can I use my DM inspiration to take the higher number?
I'm fine with that.
Or a combination of the two, where if the second number is lower, can I re-roll the first number?
So I think it'd probably be easier if you declared. That way it doesn't feel like cheating.
Okay, so I declare I want to use the inspiration to take the higher, give myself a
higher the 2. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Taking a strength check, I'm going to use inspiration, taking the higher roll. Cool. Okay. All right. Got it. I will unmark that. Strength check, you said, right?
Strength, yeah, please.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no way.
It is higher.
It is higher.
Yeah.
Wow. I love D&D, y'all. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, you get tired. That is for sure. You get tired. However, you march on. Andromache, your athletics. Yes, you will get a exhaustion. Andromache, you're 14 for the first half hour of this journey is fine. If you guys decide that you're going to rest and continue forward, I just need you guys to make another strength check. This is just because it's the first hour after the storm.
Sure.
You guys should have waited.
I should have, but intelligence is not my highest stat. Gaia will lean towards Andromache, kind of like panting, almost like mildly exhausted. Like, I mean, fuck, you can put up a good storm, but I can keep going. It's not gonna be easy, but I can keep going. We got about another. It should be like 15. Should be like 15 minutes to the bridge, but like maybe 30 right now. Can you? I can keep going. Can you keep going? Can you keep going?
I am right beside you.
Alright, Gaia will push through, taking just a regular strength check.
I'm just I'm like.
Can I bless us? I'll bless us.
Yeah, you can.
You know,
bless
in this
it,
instance,
yeah.
I'll give us bless. Fuck it, Gorby,
Sure, hell yeah.
you take a bless.
I'm looking to see if
you
there's
know what?
anything
Can I make a roll to see if and or I got 1 or 2 citizens to join us? Do I have at least 2 citizens to join us so far?
Wait, hold on.
30 minutes.
Wait. Before you do anything, before you cast Bless,
Sure.
outside of the game, what if you rode your elk?
Jared.
Oh, I
Moose noises.
can do that naturally. Anyways, I could ride my elk. I got Jared on call.
You do that at will because you could like parade around on an elk.
I have
Is
some.
that a thing?
I have
Is that
something
anything?
prepared.
Absolutely.
I'll summon Jared. I'll pull out Jared. All right, at the request of Andromache, I'll pull out Jared. I'll sit on him.
Well, I'm not requesting. I'm just
it's
like
stronger. Is it? It's
I'm
stronger.
assuming
than
it
this.
could march
Statement
through
for
this.
sure. Yeah, it looks more powerful. I'll give you that. I'm not like I said.
16.
Intelligence is not my highest stat. So I'll pull out Jared. I do have summon Steed as a prepared spell.
I
always.
choose you, Jared Chew.
I'm a
Moose
bless.
noises.
I love
Okay.
moose
Moose
noises.
noises.
Moose noises. Oh.
So
All right,
look,
so-
awesome.
But do I have at least 1 or 2 civilians joining us after 30 minutes with a really failed strength roll?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Andromache's also like shouting as well. So give me a second.
We need to do like
Literally, all I need to know is if there's more than 1. That's it.
I will not disclose right at this moment.
Sure.
Okay.
I will. Okay. Can I make a perception check to see how many people are literally physically with us?
I mean, you can just look around. You don't have to have a perception check, but
Okay.
it's still gale force winds outside. No one you can see. Right now you're announcing, but no one seems to be outside just yet.
So I can't see a body count, but I
Correct.
do know that there are people around me.
You make it, I'll just give it to you. You look around and you can see kind of like through the storm. People are kind of like looking through their shutters. It's hard to still hear you. That's the problem through the wind. So it's really, your voice is not carrying as much as it's being masked. So you have some attention from those that can kind of hear you, but it's not a whole.
But no one's like, I don't see anyone following me directly other than paying attention.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. I will cast then, and in this instance, a level 1 bless, blessing me, Andromache, and Jared
Cool.
to have bless. Making the second half of the trip, I would assume I need to make another strength save with Andromache making another athletics check.
With advantage because because Jared is there and there's someone to like hold on to. So
God bless.
when you brought Jared out, I was gonna give you advantage.
Okay. You're very nice.
Do I
lady,
also
appreciate-
benefit from Jared?
Yes.
Okay.
You could technically ride on him because you're like a half a
So,
person.
this
I'm
is-
only like a third, 2/3 of a person.
If you would like, so if you're holding on to Jared and you're using Jared as an anchor, you would get advantage. If you do not want to have Jared as an anchor, you can take the bless and still have advantage and be ahead or behind or to the left or to the right and not use him as an anchor, if that makes sense.
Well, casting
Okay,
bless
so-
at this point will go through regardless. So having Jared as an anchor will give us an advantage on the strength check, so we can hold on to him. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we get advantage and plus.
Like,
Yeah.
like I said, Gaia does not have the highest intelligence, but once Andromache provides, like, don't you have like a fucking moose or something? Like, oh, duh, and we'll pull out Jared, and we'll ride Jared the second half of the way to the Harp Bridge. And I will make that strength saving throw. Andromache, you are more than welcome to make an athletics check.
Ooh, yes.
Andromache.
Christ of the Old Wood. Please, dear Lord.
All right, I get a
Bless
24.
Me. Bless me. Bless me.
Yeah.
Oh!
Damn.
Plus
Oh,
his
wait,
last.
hold on. Let me roll my bless.
Yes. Roll your bless.
Let's see what a 22 turns into a 26!
Fours.
Let's
Oh,
go!
shit. Okay. These are fantastic rolls. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
No. That's
Okay.
the wrong number. I rolled as Jared. It should be 18 plus 4, which is 22 total. 22 is the total, not 26.
Yes. You did roll as Jared.
Yeah.
I did roll as Jared. I'm sorry.
Jared. I mean,
Jared's
that's
moose
fine.
noises.
Jared's moose.
Jared's huge!
Jared is pretty big. Okay. Hell yeah. Easy this time. The moose is like nomming on like some grass as he continues forward. And he's like, hey man, this is windy. You can't really understand him because you don't have comprehend languages, but yeah, he continues forward and you make it earlier. You make it through early and you get to the bridge. Go ahead and just well, with advantage, because you kind of would know where the sirens would like roost in a sense when they're not on the bridge. So if you can go ahead and with advantage, with the knowledge you have, roll investigation first with advantage, and we'll see how many sirens you find.
Advantage, you got it. I'm good at the numbers like
Fine.
that.
It wasn't high.
Still Jared, hold on.
You're
That's still Jared.
Still, it,
I'm
I
out of
mean,
fire.
the
Give me a
10
second. Give me a second.
The 10 was like what you kind of needed. You know.
I rolled an 11,
Still
and
rolled
I
as well.
don't feel like a -4 is applicable here.
Okay.
Uh,
So Jared finds
My-
the sirens for you.
investigation
Magically.
is a -1, so it would be a 10, not a 7.
Okay, that's fine.
You're technically still blessed too, aren't you?
Oh, good. Thank you,
Wait,
Andromache.
bless is a minute though, right? So this is
Shit.
it's been like
Oh,
over,
true.
well
True,
over.
it is.
Fuck, you were right.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
You
Isn't
well
it?
over.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
at least
it-
30.
It's been at least it's been
Yeah.
15 minutes, so you
Fuck.
half the time. So it
Yeah.
is it's okay. It again, the DC wasn't terrible. 10 was the DC, so if you got 10, you're fine. Because you know where they are. It lowered the DC like by crazy. So you find the where the sirens technically are. They are closer to the heights, I would call it. It's where the city meets the mountains. In that area, it is definitely less windy. And with the protection spell that Valus put on the areas, when you find them, the wind just completely drops. Like you have this howling wind in your ears, and all of a sudden it's like super quiet, but your ears are still kind of buzzing. It was so loud.
Sure.
So yeah, you
Maw.
find. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm quoting Archer with tinnitus, like "Mah, mah,
Okay. All right. So you are singing, and you're going to invoke these feelings and such within the sirens.
Mhm.
With your normal advantage, go ahead and roll your persuasion.
I feel like I accidentally increased my mouse sensitivity. It's like so fucking high. Big money, no whammy? I
That's
hate
whammy.
everything. I
That's
hate
big
everything.
Oh, I am glad it was not the natural one. Unfortunately, the
I gotta go,
wind.
guys. Bye.
You can't even get a song out. You're just kind of speaking because the wind had damaged your hearing for a little bit, that every single pitch that is going on sounds off. And the sirens hear your voice and hear that it's strange. It's like, what's going on? They kind of help and comfort you. And they are kind of like, oh my goodness, who are you? Where did you come from? How did you brave the storm? Is there something terrible happening? And it's more of like they're caring for you to make sure that you're okay, as you do not seem to be able to speak articulately or sing or anything that makes a siren. So maybe you're cursed.
Question.
Not sure.
Question to ask.
Uh-huh.
Can I cast another instance of Bless to try and assist with that 8? Hopefully to break a threshold of 10 and, or if I'm lucky, 12.
Okay.
Feel free to say no. I'm just trying to cover my
I'm a
own.
little on the no. If you had said something before,
Okay, that's
I'd been
fine.
like,
That's
okay.
totally fine. That's okay. We'll take the no.
Yeah. So your original plan of trying to sing has at this point failed. What would you like to do, as you do have their attention? You are a siren that looks like they are in need.
Okay. So, understanding that Gaia is struggling to not just sing, but portray emotion, which is a really big thing within the siren community as an individual and a community. I would imagine at this point, we took an hour before we left, so by the time I got to the bridge, it's like an hour 45. What's the storm looking like around me? Is it still kind of raging? Is it slowly tapering off? Like, do I need to shout for people to hear me? Or can I speak normally?
In this area, you can speak normally because it's protected by Valis' protection magic. So there is no shouting within, which is why it's like, your hearing is blown out. Looking at the storm and seeing that it has definitely died down. It has been close to 2 hours, and the hail stopped within the first hour. Now that it's rounding the second hour, the wind has lessened, let's say about, it's still raining, but the wind has lessened and it's not whipping the rain around by about like 30%. So now it is no longer necessarily gale force winds. It is dangerously windy. It's not like...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, the scene after Gaia has failed to sing, it's going to start with her crying. She's going to fully embrace that aspect. And she's going to shout to the harpies who have willingly helped her in this scenario.
Sirens.
Into those
Sirens.
Sirens. Ooh, sirens. My bad. You are right. She's going to speak loudly for those who are helping her and those watching to hear. Just give me a second. Our people have suffered for far too long. We have fallen at the hand of the titans that be. Look around you to the city you've known and loved most of your entire life, knowing the history of our people. Our city, the great city of insert city name here, which I do not remember, was drowned by Sydon centuries ago. What is this, if not a recreation of the fall of our people? We are water lovers, but this is not water. This is hate. This is anger. This is greed. We live for the spread of emotion, love of our people. And that's why you gather to this bridge. It sings, and you sing with it. It is beautiful, harmonious, and all-encumbering. Yet this above does not instill that sentiment. This above spreads hate, segregation, and malice. Who are we, if not sirens, to accept all of that? We are nothing more than the storm that be. We are nothing more than what has consumed our ancestors. And in my opinion, that's deservatory of Lutheria. And I'm friends with an old follower of hers, and that's not a fate I wish on anyone. What I want is a sun shining, a bridge singing, and a siren loving those around her. And she can't do that in this. He can't do that in this. How can we expect the world, Thylea, to be better if we cannot accept it ourselves? The Thylea I knew before the Oath of Peace was ending, albeit secluded, was marvelous. No hate between tribes. No tribes between hate. We lived for each other. We lived to live. We laughed to laugh. And we loved to love. And this bridge is the physical embodiment of what we as a tribe exist to produce. We exist for love, happiness, and song. And Gaia at this point will start to weep. And who can hear us if the thunder doesn't stop? Who stops our singing if not Sydon? The Titan drowning your city, the ears that you wish to sing upon. The emotion of our people gone within an instant because of a jealous god in the sky. Blasphemous! Him and his sister created us, and he drowned us in the ocean, literally. And we cannot stand for that anymore. Our people suffered too much. And the Thalaeans suffered too much. Native or non, we are mortals. They are not. They think differently. But we are a collective community. And we believe, as I hope, native or not, we can get together in love. Love is love, and nothing else in this world matters. As long as we can accept thy neighbor and live happily. So please, all of you, sing. Sing with me. Sing for me. Sing through me. Whatever you need to do, please pass along happiness and love so that the city of Mytros can know how we truly feel. We don't want to be segregated. We don't want to be isolated. We want to be one under our kinship and our leadership. They are not perfect, but they're what we have, and we can work with that. Valis being a wonderful leader, faults and all. So please, I would like to sing about our home, and I would wish you join me in song. And Gaia will start in this moment to sing about the history of our ancient city and the tower we built being sunken in the sea because Sydon got jealous and were rageful and sunk it because he believed his home was better.
First off, that was like the most heart-pumping speech. because I am that person. I'm not even going to make you roll. That is a nat 20 in my eyes. So I know I'm not DM. I'm sorry. That is a fucking nat 20 for me. So I just need you to go ahead and just do me a roll and roll 2d20. Actually, roll a percentile dice. Oh, nice.
What did I roll? Oh, my
Nice.
rolls hit no one.
You got a 92? I don't see it.
Yeah.
Oh!
You fucking got a 92. I love
Wow.
it.
Fortunately, you were going for under your class level, so.
Funny. Okay, don't ruin this, dude. This is a beautiful, beautiful sight right now. DM is happy. With your DM and just, I don't give a fuck. That's a nat 20. That's God intervention. The movement that you have inspired and have stirred long seated, rooted sadness, pain, and just belonging, and at the same time also stirring the feeling of hope, family, community within the siren community, coming together, helping each other, and building a new home or finding a new home has just rolled, has like the waves of the ocean over your siren brethren and and just basically everybody. You have, because it's within the, like, I was like, oh, if you roll like above 50, everyone, all of the sirens that are around leap up and start singing with you, and it is feverish. It is brilliant. They go out and they start flying through even the storm itself, bringing the song with them. Other sirens that were not necessarily in that area hear about it, and they feel it within themselves, because that is the heart of a siren. You feel the song, and they also join. They come out of hiding. And with that, we have the sirens holding hands even with each other to better and best the storm, to sing this song and to awaken the bravery, basically, that is within everyone, that has been downplayed, has been beaten, has been tested, has been wearied. The people of the city that are able to actually hear at this point a little much better now that the storm has subsided. So I would say a success if you go into your journal and you type in a map of Mytros. You will finally find a map and it will be numbered. With your siren family, you get the entire area of that southern west section, as well as going up north into the northwest section, and then even outside of the city, going into the vineyards of Mytros. Okay. So you got that part down.
I'd like to imagine once Gaia starts singing, when she sees the initial swarm of sirens, because it's not a small number that would live in the city, even a fraction of the city's size, looking at this map, would be minimally at least 100. Gaia would definitely break down into tears and show raw emotion. She would get off the back of Jared and drop to her knees on the bridge and start crying with her people. And start thanking them and doing her best to sing, but having a hard time because of her emotions coming through. Andromache, the witness of what you are seeing at the moment, is what Gaia will turn to you and say, this is what it means to be a siren, is to have this kind of community and emotional acceptance, and that this is all we want for this continent. And she will do her best to continue in song. And the length of the song, although it being short, she will continue to sing past it, bringing in more and more and allowing the echo of her people to continue throughout the city to arrive to the bridge and continue to sing and gather in harmony, hopefully bringing in those of other races to accept the beauty of music and community to join in one cause. And I would assume that, like, maybe about 10 minutes into this, she would continue to preach her stance, not so much pro 5, but anti Titan.
Yes, fantastic. Before, so Gore, sorry, Andromache, you guys got me saying your names. Andromache, you witnessed this beautiful speech, and you witnessed this like awe-inspiring spiral of sirens basically circle around Gaia as they go up, as if they are embracing her on not only like on a spiritual level, but like almost seemingly physical. And as they fly away, as they do fly away, and it's really just you two. You do, as Gaia proclaims to you, this is what it is. This is what it means to be siren, and we wish to also extend that out to everyone in Thylea. I have it as a blanket. Unbeknown to Gaia, you see the wings of Gaia shimmer in a kind of a goldish halo. And like before, her wings are absolutely beautiful, just gorgeous. Just they look like they're beautifully colored. And now they're even more vibrant to where it has a little bit of a shimmer, a shine. It's a little like you have to turn your head a few times, and you see the coating over the wings just take on a new life of itself. There look like little feather wings, the little feathers that are starting to even kind of grow. It looks like the wings are growing as Gaia has grown. That is what you see as the halo of gold around the wings starts to fade, but instead of it fading, it kind of just gets absorbed into the wings. That's what you see.
I think, Andromache, I almost call myself Guy. I think Andromache just like is doing her part, which is just like standing, watching, and letting Gaia, do her thing and being supportive. And she will be looking with admiration, and maybe between verses, Andromache would lean over and in a rare case give Gaia like a little like side hug and say, "You are doing your people proud." And just like affirm that with her and stand beside her and just like hype her up as much as she can. Just let her own the spotlight and do what she needs to do to get the message.
I'll throw Andromache's arm up one time and celebrance for our accomplishments, for what we've done for our people.
Yeah,
wonderful.
And she just fully being there as whatever kind of like speech tool. She needs an arm cheer, and Andromache's arm is up there with her. She's trying to like bolster the crowd and stuff. So
fantastic. I don't want to go too over. Just a little thing. So when Andromache and Gaia leave, as it's rounding the second hour, everybody else in the vicinity, you guys start hearing like commotion. Within the palace. Everyone else in the palace, you hear some commotion, and you kind of like look outside as you hear people are like, look. And you look outside, and there is two things that catch your attention. There is a beam, seemingly these 4 beams of light that come from the east. And then you also hear, and it's very faint, the beams of light. Sorry, the light is a little bit faint. You didn't see them before when you were walking the grounds. This is definitely something new. And then as the second hour starts to come about, you hear this gorgeous singing beautiful, loud, like you can hear it over the wind. You can hear it even through the protection spell. And you know it's from the sirens because, like Gaia, there really isn't another person on Thylea that has the most beautiful, mesmerizing voices. And as you guys, I believe you said you guys were going to go outside. And as you go outside, you can see that the servants are pointing towards the eastern side, and they're saying the Temple of the Five is glowing. And then you see other people pointing to the west and saying the sirens are out fighting the storm and singing. And there's this whole lot of commotion. And I'm going to leave that chaos as it is right then in here, and we'll pick up next week.
Oh yeah.
What?
What a section.
Great speeches.
Man, these last two speeches have been holy shit.
So good.
49
so good.
sessions build up to this.
Right?
From my experience, from my personal side of things, outside of the game, 49 sessions build up to these last two. Like, let's go! Oh, I feel so fucking powerful right now. I can take on the world. That is so good.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, right on.
Can't wait for next session.
Can't wait for Exalted Gaia.
Exalted.
Let's call her Gyra.
Oh my god.
That's funny. Oh,
Awesome.
that exalted guy.
All right.
EGJ.
All right, just to close out properly, that was amazing. I think this is probably going to be one of my top favorite. These last two episodes are probably my top favorite, I think, aside from the first time we met, or everyone met in the world. So we will be back next week, the 25th, I believe. Is everyone going to be here? If there's any vacations, just go ahead and put it in the late cancellations in channel. Okay, we'll see. And then we're on for session 2 of the Ghosts of Salt Marsh. Yes, nailed it. On the 21st, which is Friday. Hey! Which is going to be 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 8 p.m. No. 7 p.m. PST time. And 8 p.m. CST time. Yay!
Yay!
Well, thank y'all for staying up. And
Get murdered by merfolk.
That's always what I've always wanted. Have a good night, and until next week, or until Friday.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!